Margaret Jacobsen, tōku ingoa, Ngāti Rārua, Rāoko, Ngāti Tōrangatira, i te iwi.
Kia ora, Lorraine i rahau, Ngāti Rārua, Ngāti Tōrangatiro huiwi, no Wairau rahau.
My mother was Ruth Gray, who came from the pā. My father's name is John Gridley, and I was born in 1958 here in Blenheim, in the Wairau.
My grandparents are Tami Karei, and that's what he's got listed on his birth certificate. And my grandmother was Bubsy, so she was Meri Te Aka Gray. She was a whāngai, but she was raised here by our Fori and Meri Te Hiko down at Horopakahi, just down the lane. Margaret is the eldest granddaughter of Tom and Meri Gray, and Wally's the eldest grandson. We got really fond memories of being down there because there was so much to play. We had the barn, we had the tractors, we had all of the trees, we were sent out looking for eggs.
Oh God.
And all through the hedges, all of those eggs through the hedges.
They never had any chook houses. The chooks were just wild, so there was hedges everywhere. So Nanny would give us a bucket and go out and get us some eggs. Outside the kitchen, there was an old wooden coal range that no longer worked, so they'd put a new one in and took the old one out. So that was our play kitchen. So when we'd go out and get the eggs, we'd hide half and give Nanny the other half because we made mud and egg cakes. She was quite a stern woman to everybody else. And we found too, as we got older, people, would say, well, who's your nanny? And we'd tell them, ooh, she's a grumpy old bag, an old bat and all that. But not to us, she wasn't. And I think one of the things she taught me too is that they were poor. They were really poor. And so at Christmas time, we always, Mum and Dad always made sure we were there at Christmas time. And we just loved it. They always had such a big feed, big kai for us all. But there were never any presents because they couldn't afford that sort of stuff. And it taught me that you're still getting love. You don't need presents because as you got older too, you realise you open those presents up and you play with it for 5 minutes and that's the end of it, and what's it cost them? We just knew that we were loved by them. They never said it, it was just how they were, eh? They didn't have to financially show us, like it seems to be that you need to do that today.
Because Nanny was more vocal than Granddad, so Granddad's in Ngāti Rārua side, he was more quietly spoken.
Very calm.
Yeah, bearing in mind that I was young and he would have been in his 60s.
And he was our granddad, so we couldn't do any wrong. None of us kids could do any wrong. In Nanny's eyes we could though, and we'd get it, like this on the cheeks or the ears, up the ears, but other than that, there was never any discipline from them. They just let us run wild. But I think that's why I gravitated to going down there a lot too, because you weren't disciplined and you had free range, but you knew that you were welcomed and loved. But at the time,
and where your boundaries were.
Yeah. You just knew.